And we are back in these IEM Korean Server Closed Qualifiers number 2. I have another ZvP coming up here, but I have a feeling it's going to be a very different ZvP. I only have one question for you, Light.
Yo.
Do you bless the reins? Or no, are you free? Shit.
There's a couple of different ways you can go with this.
Right.
You know, choose your poison. Which one are you going for? Pick one.
Are you free?
Are you free? In the reins.
In the reins, yeah, in the blessed reins.
Hey, I don't know if we can say this. You know, we are on a different platform.
We are. Yeah. We're on a competing platform.
Exactly. And you know what? I'm gonna take this first one just because I feel like you want to take the second one.
Yep. I was a little worried because I was
spawning.
We all know who Armani's team is.
The top left-hand corner of Nightshade LE. We have representing competing platform to Twitch, Afrika TV, aka Afrika Freaks. They have made their return to StarCraft. It is the Zerg player. It is Armani.
And in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Nightshade LE, we have the Blue Protoss coming. Another one of those breakout players, I would say, representing Team Bravestar Gaming, BSG. We have the Blue Protoss representing the Republic of Korea. We have Hurricane. Now, this is something I've been thinking of just in the shower today, as a matter of fact. Like, we've been saying that Armani, right? He might represent the Armani exchange or the Giorgio Armani brand. But I remembered while I was in the shower, in World of Warcraft, isn't there like a faction of trolls that are called the Armani?
Yes.
Maybe that's where the name comes from.
Yaku, you have some interesting shower thoughts. I will say that. It was keeping me up at night, man. I just the Armani Warbear, you know, just couldn't stop thinking about it. All right,
Eight elves, probably.
Okay. Maybe. I mean, I doubt it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Mate, he's fairly young. He probably didn't play Warcraft 2.
Well, I don't think. If we're gonna talk about Warcraft, I don't think the Armani trolls were a thing until World of Warcraft. I think that was something that was added on later. That's why I'm skeptical. I could be completely wrong. I didn't play Warcraft 1 or 2, so I don't know if it was in the campaign or something. Maybe.
Could be. I think you are right in that they did kind of retcon it, and that the trolls weren't named in Warcraft 2, but then in World of Warcraft they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna call them the Armani.
Yeah,
just got a brand deal.
They expanded. Exactly. All of a sudden, all the trolls, they just started wearing like high-end fashion, you know?
The lore goes deep.
Exactly. No, yeah, it's one of those things where I don't know, if you're a fashion company, I just think it would be cool. I think it would be cool to see someone like a brand like Armani invest in a player called as such. Like this kind of goes into I don't know if you remember, but Doritos, they were looking to get into.
Oh yes, I remember this. It was very recent.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I remember. Yeah, I was straight up, and I think my timelines might be a little bit muddy. I don't have any behind the scenes, but I think Special at this point was teamless. Ocean Gaming sort of dissolved his StarCraft 2 brand, so Special was in talks. Everybody was like, dude, sign Special.
Yeah.
Personally,
like literally,
I want them to call the team Guardians of Guadalajara.
Yeah, like.
But I think everyone in StarCraft 2 was in what's it called? The consensus was there. They were all in agreement. Signed special.
For sure. Like there are like these kind of like partnerships that are like dream partnerships that you wish like were a thing, you know?
Like CranKy Ducklings and a certain company.
Yeah. I do feel like we should at some point talk about the game.
Right, yeah. As we were saying,
about-
it's going to be a very different PVZ, and different
It is, yeah.
what we're seeing. Hurricane did go up for that standard Stargate, and he did go for those two oracles, but he's not quite going for a very aggressive build. He is very much just building up his forces for a Soul Train push.
Exactly, and unlike, you know, SOS versus Ragnarok, Hurricane did keep his oracles alive. He does have both of them now for scouting purposes, as well as trying to go in and sneak a couple of drone kills. And, you know, we do have Armani kind of being a little bit more macro-oriented, droning up, you know, getting upgrades, like getting a fourth even. So we will see like a more like standard game coming out of both these players.
And you know what they say, standard tends to be the most unpredictable, or rather standard beginnings often come with the most unpredictable results. I don't think anyone says that. I think I might have tripped that, but
someone could have said that, you know, it's one of those.
Someone could have said that back in the day.
Yeah, why not? Hurricane being a little bit bold with this push. Like, I feel like this push is kind of lacking a lot.
Yeah, he's moving out with only one immortal and no Warprism.
Exactly.
He does have, well, I mean, he does have the Oracle, so he has that going for him. Very nice Force Fields as well, but he's just about to get surrounded, but the Oracles are doing their job, and they are melting the Zerglings. And just like that, Armani has lost his buffer.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of surprising, but you can't underestimate the power of Oracles and how they take down light units with efficiency, especially Zerglings. Like, that was looking really dicey for Hurricane, but...
I feel like a lot of Zerg players do tend to underestimate Oracles when they're used offensively like this.
For sure. And yeah, Hurricane, he's able to, I believe, cancel that fourth. I don't think he managed to get the kill.
If you look at the last tab, he did, in fact, cancel that fourth.
Yeah. So nicely done.
Nice little quick defense. Yeah. Oh, he could lose this. No, he keeps Warp Prism alive. Hurricane does, I should say.
Does have to be careful with that Warp Prism. Almost goes down, but Armani does clean it up at his third, and yeah, now he's, you know, getting his fourth up to the north instead, which is, I feel, a little bit safer. You know, it isn't as aggressive as the lower. So yeah, quite nice.
Yeah, it's definitely a preference when it comes to Zerg players and your fourth base on this map.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, we do have Baneling speed coming down from Armani, so we're going to be seeing some Ling Bane action happening.
Ling Bane versus Soul Train. You don't really see that often, do you?
Yeah, it's rough, right? Especially against Archons. Like, if you don't control your Banelings properly, like, they could just all be completely wasted. So, you know, it will be on Armani's control.
But I think it might be... But I think Hurricane is looking to end this before Banelings become a factor, though. Armani is trying to get a nice concave, and he will get a little bit of flank. Oh, there's no wall! There is no wall. But there is a cannon. So
for sure. Hopefully he cancels this fourth. He gets a kill.
He did not cancel it.
Yeah.
And this is looking more and more of a Hurricane, trying to get the flank once again, but gonna be denied with the force fields. I feel like Hurricane is less sentries than I remember.
Yeah, he's only doing this with 4 sentries, really 3. One of them doesn't have any energy left, which, you know, is a little bit bold. To be fair, he does have a lot of Archons, and that does provide like a lot of like beef to this army.
For sure. Especially when you're up against Banelings. Guardian Shield is popping out, and we are going to see what will be the final engagement, or one of the final engagements. Force field usage this time was a little bit sloppy compared to the previous engagement, and now Armani is back in it, nailing all of the biles. Hurricane not gonna give this up quite yet.
We were just talking about it, all of the the majority of those Banelings hit Archons, like nothing but Archons. They didn't make it through into that juicy center where all the sentries and gateway units are.
And a lot of those, and on top of just clashing with the Archons, a lot of the rest of the Banelings were just sniped by Archons.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, Hurricane does get pushed back. the game does continue. Ragnarok's still struggling to get his 4th up though. You know, the first time it was cancelled, second time it was outright killed. And if this keeps going, like this is gonna kind of snowball in favor of Hurricane, because Hurricane, he's already working on his 4th.
He's already got his 4th. I believe he's starting to saturate it or almost saturate it. +3 is on the way as well. I think Hurricane is not really the type of player who likes to play the... From what I remember, Hurricane is not really a late game player, so that could come back to him, but...
Yo, these Archons, what are they doing out here, man?
What are they doing out there for backup?
It's a nice pick-off from Armani. Kind of expensive, though. He did lose quite a lot of banelings doing that as well.
Yeah, a little bit unnecessarily, but hey, man, you get 2 Archons. That's well worth it.
But, you know, he does manage to get his 4th up. He still does need to saturate it, but, you know, in due time.
He has realized that his Protoss opponent is on the same amount of bases, so he's going to look to do a little bit of damage, whatever he can. Try to equalize. That could be a money stasis. But, actually, funnily enough, I think he got blind sniped.
Yeah, only 1 sentry left.
I see it here. Only 1 sentry left, but they are the flank of the Chargelets. But the Banelings are very, very good for this scenario.
Ooh.
And more battles are starting to connect on Hurricane's army.
Yeah, he was able to snipe 2 Immortals with those battles, but there is nothing but Ravagers left, and he can't really engage this.
Yeah, that's not exactly a unit that you want to leave exposed like this.
For sure.
Fault.
Yeah. Wow. GG.
Hurricane takes game number 1. Juan. Player for Team Doritos.
Yeah, GG. It was just like, it was looking pretty good for Armani, but he wasn't really trading very efficiently. Like for the vast majority of his banelings weren't like getting the connections that he wanted. Like, that was a waste of a lot of gas.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think that towards the end of the game, he was trading a lot more efficiently. He was nailing his engagements. He was getting value here and there. But before that, as you said, he just essentially wasted his banelings. That's gas that you don't really want to waste. And like, Hurricane was able to snowball from there. It didn't matter that he was taking so many losses because he had such a strong economy at that point. He had a lot of gateways. He could afford to just reinforce with Chargelets and take it. Basically, Armani realized it.
It also comes down to the fact that Hurricane did delay that 4th base for so long from Armani. You know, denying it and killing it as well. Like, it was just really rough for Armani to try and get that like economy that he wanted against Hurricane, who was already on 4 bases, you know.
Nodding my head.
But here we are getting to game number 2 between these 2 players, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Simulacrum LE. We have the Zerg player representing Afrika Freaks, Afrika TV. It is Armani.
And in the top left-hand corner map, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Simulacrum, Mayar Har Fiddle DD. We have the blue Protoss representing Team Bravestar Gaming BSG. We have, oh, little darling, don't you feel charming? Here in the eye of Hurricane.
Yo, that just makes me miss Pro League. I don't know if you remember, but for the longest time, not for the entire time, but for the longest time, players had intros, like song intros. Yeah, that's why we started.
Oh,
I don't know if you remember.
I remember it now, yeah. I remember the one that really sticks out to me was that Maru versus Myungsik game right after Myungsik BM'd Rogue. Maru came in and his song was Better Than Revenge.
Yeah, there were like a couple of players that had like Eminem songs. You know, Flash had his like iconic song that he kept since Brood War. Like, yeah, like they would all have like their iconic intros that they would play. And like it ended up kind of like tying them to it as well. Like it was kind of like WWE, you know, when like a player comes in, they've got the music playing as they like go down like the runway and shit. Like those were the days. You can't really get away with that anymore because, you know, copyright. Especially,
it's really hard to get licensing.
For sure. It wasn't really something that like Kespa or Korea in general really cared about back in the day. They were like, what are you gonna do? You gonna copyright strike us?
Or a government organization.
Yeah, exactly. But things have changed over time, and
for sure.
It's a shame. Fun fact: we used to have player intros for our tournaments.
We did. It wasn't for everyone. It was for like select players who were regulars and whatnot. But it was pretty fun. I don't remember what Milk's was. I remember Milk had one. I don't remember what it was.
It was the milkshake song.
Oh, it was. No, I remember.
Yep, it was the milkshake song. We Itachi had the Naruto intro.
Like Naruto song.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Good Macarena. Oh, Hurricane.
Oh, okay. Switching things up. Yeah, we should probably talk about the game at some point as well.
Nah, ain't nothing going on in the game.
But yeah, you know, instead of going for that Stargate opening that we did see in game 1, Hurricane, we do see him going for this Dark Shrine, and it's gonna be on Armani to be able to scout this. He does have an Overlord at the natural of Hurricane that could potentially.
I think he might pull a risky.
Oh, maybe.
I think it's possible that he pulls a risky and he doesn't.
It's not gonna be that bad. We do have 2 blind spores on the way. So you know, Armani, he is being safe. He does have one at the third and at the main, you know, the kind of like 2 ends of his base. So, you know, potentially like
nodding my head.
Even if DTs go unscattered, they won't deal like game-ending damage. So we'll see unless they go for the natural.
Unless they go for natural, or if they go for blink.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of hoping that Hurricane will do, you know, pull a classic, but you got a lot of options when you get DTs, let me tell you.
Yeah. I imagine this is probably gonna...
This could just be for Archons, and actually I'm looking at the mini-wrap right now. Look at Armani's Zergling spread, or at least what it was before.
It's really nice, actually.
It was aesthetic. And imagine to cover everything, he does immediately see the DTs.
Yeah, he does. And there is a spore at the third, so he does have detection there. And
he's getting his lair on the way as well.
Almost done. Exactly. Yep. That's the major difference between Armani and Risky, where Risky, he didn't even have a lair in production. He was completely caught off guard.
Very, very greedy.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, Armani, he is more prepared. Hurricane, you know, even though the DTs didn't really get to do much, they can turn into Archons and deal damage that way. But his third is gonna get cancelled.
I was worried that would have even been killed. That was very nice.
That would have been insane. Oh yeah, but you know, still getting more and more value with these things, getting an adept, even the DTs. Wow.
And we'll get this Archon as well, or maybe not.
Yeah, it looks like he was trying to deny the third. Hey, these are some value links.
These are some extra value rings.
He even gets in the main! Oh my god.
This way should scout out everything that's here. Or if our Hurricane doesn't respond to this, could lose a probe. He did lose a probe, and then he lost another.
Yeah, and he does scout the Twilight Council that is researching. He is confirming that as well. The Ling is still alive, running around.
Ling, you can't catch me. Oh, they caught him. How about that?
Yeah. He can guess that it will be Zealot legs, as there are Zealots out already. But you know, it could go either way. You know, I don't know if you noticed, but Hurricane was working on Blink actually, and then after the Ling got into the main, he canceled Blink and then started Zealot legs. So it's quite interesting that Hurricane made that decision.
Yeah. That's something that your opponent cannot see, so maybe you just decided, you know what? Why would I want Stalkers if I'm going for Archons?
Yeah. I'm not too sure what the thought process was for switching the tech, but, you know, it was there.
Yeah, I imagine it was just a sort of reevaluate what is my opponent going for. He's not going for anything like I don't really have to focus on any anti-air or any defensive units, so to speak. So, you know, I'm safe to go for chargelets, which act as a much better buffer for these Archons.
For sure. Yeah, they do.
And they're playing it. He's just playing it patient for the time being. Once again, going to be annoying with his Archons.
Yeah, yeah. This game, Armani is getting up his 4th base a lot more. Ooh, nice.
Wait, hold up. Did you see that? Did you see what I saw?
What'd you see?
The Biles just exploded midair. It didn't go all the way down the map. It didn't go below the map.
There's depth in this map, Yaku.
There is.
Wait, what? Yeah, they landed further to the north instead of to the south, so it's just the way the buildings look, like in that area because of the buildings.
So see, I just saw they like exploded midair. Oh, this could be some good pickoffs if Armani or Hurricane is careful.
Yeah, Armani kind of being greedy right now, getting a 5th in the middle of this push. To be fair, he didn't see this happening.
Cautious as well, though, because
yeah.
This is not a lot if you're a Protoss player, and this is a lot plus defender's advantage from the Zerg player. But Armani being caught out a little bit. But there's not a lot of buffer for these Archons.
Yeah, a couple more sentries do get warped in. You know, he only had 4, but now he warped in a couple more. And ooh, Storm is on the way as well. But Hurricane, he goes back home, which is a little bit surprising. I feel like he maybe could have done a little bit more. Like he maybe could have applied a little bit more pressure.
Maybe, but I think it definitely would have been very something that he would really have to focus on and potentially risk losing his army, tunneling,
for sure,
and not really doing the quote-unquote correct move.
Yeah. As we see, you know, he does come back home and he will be on the defensive now. It is kind of hard though for Armani to apply any real pressure because going up ramps against sentries like could, you know, just end the entire game.
Yeah, especially when you have to deal with some multi-prong harass from your opponent.
Yeah, for sure.
And I almost feel like Armani this time has kind of just been, every time he tries to get ahead in this game, he's just kind of been slapped down.
I mean, sort of. Oh, Lings do get into the main, actually, of Hurricane. We'll be able to get a couple of workers.
Plus a lot of scouting. He knows that the Templar Archive... Well, actually, I'm not sure if he saw it researching or not.
Yeah.
But he should have it in the back of his mind.
And along what you were saying, like, Armani, you know, he kind of got away with his, like, quote-unquote greed. Like, he's on 5 bases, like, his 5th finished. And he will be able to saturate it. He's getting his Spire as well. You know, there are multi-prong attacks happening, but he's, like, able to defend them.
And once again, this is dangerous because, well, we were saying that Hurricane was trying not to risk...
Oh, God! Run! Oh,
so close.
Yeah.
I held my breath there. But there's coming down, very nice force fields coming out from Hurricane. But
as well
he's actually keeping... Yeah, he exposed his High Templar so much, but he was able to keep them alive.
Yeah.
And he's forced to cancel his 4th once again.
Yeah, Armani does invest a lot in it, but he does cancel the 4th. But this run by may kill the 5th.
Ooh, it might, but that's a lot of Banelings coming down. But can they... Zealot's DPS is just way too good. And it does actually kill the 5th. You cannot cancel finished building.
Oh my, this Warp Prism has been so annoying.
It's
been alive for so long.
This OP Umbrella has been the real MVP this entire game.
I kind of want Armani to throw down. Yeah, a little bit more static defense there.
That's kind of a hard thing to declare. Like, yeah, no, this unit has been the MVP because, as you saw, his Templar have been doing such a good job with his Storms. His Sentries have been so good with his force fields, but I really think that when it comes to value, it is definitely the Warp Prism. And Armani's up getting his Greater Spire. He already has his Hive. And one thing that kind of worries me for Hurricane is, again, he is not a late game player. I suppose he doesn't really he's not really in a position to go into the late game, but even in previous series, he just kind of avoids it as much as he can.
I feel like he does end up getting that War Prism though, so now Armani
Ooh.
will be able to focus entirely on the offensive. Doesn't have to worry about those counterattacks anymore.
For sure. Or I guess you don't have to worry about Baneling run bys if you have 2 Archons. We'll have to worry a little bit about this over proper Lord.
Yeah, but the engagement is a little bit map there. Oh, I think he got all the High Templar.
Hurricane is getting caught out guard. Yeah, Hurricane is being flanked by Roaches and Ravagers, but Armani is going to pull back to a better location. He does not want to risk this fight. Meanwhile, the Corruptors were in the main.
Yeah, and there was a run by at the third. 18 drones went down. Oh my, wait, what?
Armani's
The
back
Corruptors got the main.
Yeah,
they got the main Nexus. Oh my god.
And we are just tied up sideways 1-1 in this best of 3 lower bracket series.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see it, but Hurricane, he was just pulled apart. Like the Corruptors, they ended up killing the main Nexus. At the same time, you know, there was that Dropper of Banelings heading to the natural. I do believe that was picked off, but you know, as that was happening, there was a Ling run by at the third, and Hurricane, he just didn't have the army to defend every single place at once.
We've been seeing throughout that entire game, it was Hurricane and his War Prism and his.
As soon as the War Prism died, like Armani turned it on.
Tables were turned. It was like, dude, I'm the multi-pronged master. Armani comes in with Corruptors. I was like, are you now?
Yeah,
because I feel like you were attacking me at 2 angles, and I'm attacking you at 3 right now. That your War Prism is dead. He didn't even need the Greater Spire. What a dude.
Exactly. Yeah. It was one of those things where like I was looking at Hurricane's army and it was looking very sparse. Like his main army was at his third, and he had like High Templars, he had Immortals, he had Archons, but like he didn't have very many gateway units. Exactly. Yeah.
I think he wanted to rely entirely on force fields and storms, and that's always a risk that you're taking. I suppose it's a little bit more effective if you think that you have the micro to pull it off, but even if you just have a handful of chargelets, I think just to tank some damage.
Yeah, for sure.
But well, actually, maybe not, because now that thinking back, chargelets don't cost gas, whereas sentries do cost a lot of gas. So, but then again, it is Hurricane. He doesn't really like his very gas-intensive late-game units. So I kind of wish that we could interview the players and just be like, "Yo, what was the idea behind this?"
I feel like we would need Crank for that.
You would.
Yeah, or another Korean interpreter. But speaking of Korean interpreters, here in the top left-hand corner of Trident LE, representing South Korea, as well as Afrika Freaks and Afrika TV, it is the Zerg player, Armani.
And in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Triton LE, we have the blue Protoss, representing Team Bravestar Gaming, Team BSG. He took the first game in very convincing fashion. He looked so solid in the second game too, but that almost cost him. But that was almost the reason for why it cost him that. My darling, you find it charming, because here we have the Hurricane.
You know what? I like the names of these two players.
Yeah,
we were talking about Dynamite yesterday. You know, Hurricane and Armani. It's not bad. I mean, we
really isn't. I feel like Hurricane is. I feel like we have her. So I feel like Hurricane is another one of those like random English words that you imagine would be more popular than it is. But as far as I can tell, there's only Bravestar Gaming Hurricane and League of Legends Hurricane. And that's going off of my memory, so don't trust that. I'm pretty sure Bravestar Gaming Hurricane is the only Hurricane.
Wow. Interestingly enough, we have an incredibly fast Stargate coming down from Hurricane.
Oh
Much
yeah.
faster than usual, actually. Um, Potentially this could get scouted by Lings. At the moment though, Armani, he still has a majority of them at home. He's only sending one out, like I imagine, to just scout around the map. I don't know if he's going to be able to spot this Stargate in time, and whether or not this Stargate is going to completely blindside Armani. Typically, we don't see him like send an overload in or anything like that this early.
Tis accurate. Although he does elect to cover his bases.
Oh, dude,
He
this
did
thing's gonna
seem
get
to go
in.
for those
It's gonna
blind
get in.
scores the last game. The
There's an
Ling will get
adept,
in.
but it's at
There's
the
an
natural.
adept, and there's the
Yeah,
wall. There's an adept, there's the natural, yeah.
yeah, he spots
And
it.
now Armani will see the Stargate and the Phoenix. What are you gonna do now?
I mean, he should be able to
Poor boy.
respond. He should be okay. Yeah. Typically, we see like this Stargate finishing up, like 30 seconds or like a minute after, like around like 4 minutes. But it does finish up quite early, and he is going for that Phoenix first, which is quite
It's the
interesting.
adept. He's going for the Phoenix first, but he's kind of delaying his second unit, so I think this is just a clear Overlord Phoenix for what he has planned next. That is a
Yeah,
Robo and a Twilight Council. Are you
yeah,
thinking
yeah,
what
yeah.
I?
So typically, you see like Phoenix into Oracle or like straight Oracle, right, with a Stargate opening.
Yeah.
But I think because it got scouted, he just made the first Phoenix, and that's it. That's all he's gonna make from the Stargate. Like because he knows that it's just. Oh no, never mind. Actually, he just delayed his Oracle. Okay.
Well, I mean, getting an Oracle is pretty good for utility, but what I'm what I'm trying to say is that he delayed the second unit, right? So he got
Yeah.
his Robo and his Twilight Council. Stargate is not going to be his endgame here.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Interesting. I imagine the
Waves?
yeah. I imagine the Oracle may be
No, it's
also
going to be Archon
defensive.
drop. Yeah, it could definitely be a defensive Oracle. That is,
Yeah.
he has left his main or natural very exposed.
Yeah. As in, obviously you can use it for utility for revelations and scouting the map. But it will also be useful for like stasis traps or clearing up lings that try to hinder your third from being thrown down. But yeah.
All right,
yeah,
the War
okay.
Prism is out. Templar Archives are just about to complete. It's not going to
And-
be Storm Drop, but I really wish it would be. But it's not going to be. It's going to be Archon Drop in it.
Oh my god, he canceled all his high
Cut
Templar.
out.
Oh,
And
that was
it's actually,
so
I believe you
expensive.
don't get a refund on that when you cancel it from the Warp Prism. So yeah, that was huge.
Oh my
But the
god.
Archons will
Yeah.
come out nonetheless. Armani does see it, but even if he does, what has he got? He's getting 11 roaches now, but with the Warp Prism, you can really juggle between bases.
Yeah, it definitely is possible. Armani does have like a hit squad of queens as well as a handful of roaches. He should be okay, but we'll see if Hurricane is able to, micro and get a couple more worker kills. But there are so many roaches here, like he
Are you
should
going
be
to
able
split
to
up
get
his army a little bit? Or maybe not, yeah. I can imagine Hurricane just lifting up one of these queens of the Phoenix and going, yo, what are you going to do now?
Yeah. He
Are
is
gonna
coming
for
in
his
trying to
multi-prong
get.
once again. Nice stasis ward, but could get cancelled. Ah, not
Oof.
enough Zerglings.
Yeah,
And look at that mining plummet.
exactly. Yeah, there was a really nice positioning from the stasis ward. The Zerg player couldn't get the surface area with his lings. Only two could attack at once. So nicely done from Hurricane.
And on top of that, so many
Oh.
drones. Oh, but yeah, Hurricane
Yeah.
not being careful enough here. This was an Archon.
Mhm.
But that's fine because no, never mind. I saw the infestation pit. I was like, yo, it's fine. Hurricane is already transitioning. I'm like, no, wait, that's for the different race. That's not the
Yeah.
race. That's the
We do
other one.
have. Yeah, we do have a potential transition into Swarm Host coming from Armani, which I think I do like actually. Hurricane,
Really?
I feel like he's kind of been like trying to adapt to what Armani has been scouting and what he's been doing. And I think those adepts that were at the third were able to see the infestation pit, so he should be aware. But despite being aware, we'll see if these Swarmhosts are able to deal some damage. I don't think we have a Nidus, so it will just be just regular Swarmhosts, like waddling across the map.
Nodding my head. Well, he could go for the Nidus if he wanted to, but it's definitely not something planned. It's more of a reaction to his opponent to be like, oh, I see. I'm just gonna siege you down then, since you spent so much money on this much tech. You can't have that much. You can't have that much of an economy, and I'm gonna make sure that it remains not much of an economy.
Yeah. Storm only now just starting, so he won't have that for the Swarmhost or the Locust.
Colossus.
Yeah, he is trying to look a little bit more threatening with the Colossus, which I quite like. But
it's
yeah, like in comparison, like Hurricane can't fight straight up, especially against all these Locusts. I don't feel like
he cannot. Do you think Locusts will get us around? I think they absolutely will. They don't care about force field.
These are coming in.
And Ravagers don't care about force field either. Lynx do get in, and they could try to surround this. Storm is not yet done, and all of these Immortals are going down.
Yeah, everything falls. There's only 2 Immortals left. There's 1 High Templar.
There's not enough cargo on the Warp Prism.
Oh, the shield batteries, they are finishing up.
Batteries are keeping everything alive, and that's a real clutch right now for Hurricane. But the Biles are just way too good. And Armani's just continuing to press this. He does not want to give Hurricane even a minute to breathe. But he's being a little bit too aggressive. There are many shield batteries behind that.
Yeah. At the same time, though, the Swarmhosts do get chased away, so they are forced to send down their Locusts early. Despite that, though, they will reach
there be enough time?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. We'll see if they're able to do much damage here. It doesn't look like it.
That's a shield battery, which ain't bad.
Yeah.
It's just going to make the follow-up push even stronger.
Exactly. Armani, he's already maxed out.
Hurricane does survive, but yeah. As a wise man once said, look at Soup's Bly.
Exactly. I mean, he does have a little bit of time because the Swarmhosts do have to recharge their Locusts, but once they're done...
By the time it's up.
Yeah, it will depend all about these storms.
And they actually get so many of these Locusts. Hurricane is still in this, but he doesn't have anything behind the storms. There's a couple of Immortals, but the Warp Prism is here to juggle them.
Exactly. Where is the Warp Prism actually?
Right now.
Oh my god, all the Immortals go down.
I think I got stuck by a queen or something.
It actually may be across the map dealing damage as...
I think so.
Yeah, the 4th is under fire.
But it's not going to be doing enough damage. The damage done by Hurricane cannot outpace the damage done by Armani right now. You also have to remember the defender's advantage. That's not a lot there in Armani's base compared to how much Hurricane has to deal with. And of the sort of up-and-coming players, Armani gonna establish himself by moving forward in this IEM Closed Qualifier, Korea Closed Qualifier 2 online. What's it called? Lower bracket. Yeah.
Hurricane does get knocked out. Armani does advance in the lower bracket to potentially face off of another Protoss player, actually. He will be going up against the loser of Trap and Parting.
I think we do have confirmation right now from Sinistro on the lower bracket. We have Trap versus Armani, he says.
Oh.
So we could go for that. We might not go for that, but we will cut to a break and stay tuned for... We're going to have a new series very soon.